with another chapter of Expect the Unexpected by Arctic Vulpix. In the last chapter, Hedi returned and all the toys were happy. And also, Hedi's brother has been introduced. And it's apparently, from the sound of it, an old security guard that managed to escape with his life. So, the last chapter left off with him fainting. So we're gonna continue that in chapter 51. Um, if you want to follow along, chat the link is in the description below for you to, as always. So let's get started. Chapter 51. Jeremy. Jeremy Fitzgerald had only experienced unconsciousness a few times in his life, and all occasions were for bad and or stupid reasons. But the description of feeling like he was underwater was pretty accurate. He wasn't even aware he had blacked out until vague, incomprehensible voices trickled through the darkness. Next came light, but it was faint and only added to the fuzzy feeling. Plus, his head really hurt. He groaned and squeezed his eyes shut at the pain. You hit your head. The harsh, clipped tone of his baby sister drifted to his ears. It was the first voice that wasn't getting lost in translation from his ears to his brain. Great. What did he do now? She only used that tone if she thought he was being exceptionally stupid. It was a trait she and his wife both shared, funnily enough. What happened? He moaned. You don't remember? He shook his head and winced. You want the short version or the long one? Short, he mumbled. You are an overbearing, overprotective, harebrained, distrustful, blondest blonde idiot that is one of the only three blood relatives I have in the world, yet the only one who decided a panic attack was worth a possible death by brain injury for making out the floor. I had a really strange dream, he mumbled, still a bit out of it. Did you hear a word I just said? Not really, he groaned. Tuned down after harebrained. Yeah, I still don't see the resemblance. Was that a different voice? Well, their hair's the same. They look too old. What, guys? That was Hedi's voice again. There were other voices in the background whispering. There was giggling, too. I'm serious about the dream. How hard did I hit my head? Someone tossed something cold into his lap. You're fine. Just don't go jumping around doing anything strenuous for the next hour. That was another girl's voice that was vaguely familiar. Strenuous like running away? Not helping Mari. Hedi hissed at someone. Not trying to. Oh, shut up, clown. He gave me permission to torment him, not you. Since when do I listen? The voice sounded distinctively threatening. He'd ignored the bearing and spoke to Jeremy. This dream you just had, was it about Freddy's? Jeremy opened one eye in a squint and looked at her. Yeah, how did you... His question died on his tongue as the pieces clicked back into place, and he actually got a look at where he was. There was silence for all of 3 seconds as everyone stared at him and he stared back. Foxy couldn't help it. A grin snuck its way onto his face. Boo! Ah! And we're back to screaming. Ruby grinned as Hedi gave Foxy an annoyed look. The night guard was snickering along with the pirate fox. Nice going, Captain, she smirked, while Freddy glowered at them. You are a terrible influence, he muttered. He lost her patience finally. Jeremy Fitzgerald! She suddenly shut in her brother's face. What? Shut the heck up! You shut up! You're the crazy person! I didn't spend several hours blowing through 30 red lights on the way here. It was 15 at most. Tell that to Amelia when you get the bill. Okay, I'll be sure to mention that. If we're not dead, you promised me you wouldn't... excuse me? Ruby raised her non-broken hand. Can I? No! Both siblings turned to her and shouted. Ruby blinked. Okay then. She didn't turn on her heel. I brought the duct tape for the blue rabbit, but I don't think he'll get a pass tonight. Toby wisely didn't respond and kept his wide eyes glued to the man yelling at Hedi along with the rest of the bots. Katie, however, heard Ruby and lowered her voice. Jack, just calm down for a minute. You're going to pass out again. Please don't make me slap you. I am not coming down. You're working in a death trap with a bunch of freak robot monsters. How can I come? Smack. Even Ruby looked shocked. She wasn't expecting Katie, the one who usually tried to break up fights, to actually slap him. Don't call my friends freaks or monsters. They're neither, he said with that chilly anger that so often conflicted with Ruby's hot temper. Jeremy seemed shocked into some sense as he held his cheek and stared wide-eyed at the occupants of the room. He swallowed and nodded numbly. As the panic subsided, he realized that they should all actually be dead already if something really strange was going on. Can we ask those questions now? Chica asked timidly. He winced but nodded anyway. She shifted uncomfortably and cringed at the look of few the toys were sporting. Ruby looked between Jeremy and the door, a mental dilemma going on. Answers, duck cake, answers, duck cake, think. Eventually, one choice won, and she turned around with an agitated sigh and jumped up onto the counter in the staff room they were all in. Me first, she chirped. Phoebe pouted from where he stood on the floor. He couldn't get up onto the counter where Ruby was now standing. Katie gave her a long-suffering sigh and gestured for her to go ahead. Why didn't you just leave if you didn't want to do this job? Ruby asked immediately. He's a stubborn idiot who refuses to tell her dad that the animatronics were trying to kill him because it sounds crazy, he answered flatly. It is crazy, Jeremy squeaked. Shut up unless you're going to contribute something helpful, Edie snapped, annoyed. Which incarnation of Freddy's did you work at? She asked next, staring at him intently from her high ground. The one that brought the toys in for the first time, Edie answered, when it seemed like Jeremy had lost the ability to speak. So you were up against toys? She tilted her head. After a long moment, he nodded slowly, staring at the strange teenager. Well, there's the problem, she grinned widely. They sucked before he and I talked knocked some sense into them. Those two still suck, though. She pointed at Toby and Chi, who glared back at her. Not that simple, Ruby, he sighed in frustration. They tried to kill me, Jeremy cried. They came freaking close a bunch of times, too. Those ones, too. He pointed instantly at the originals, who did look upset about the whole thing. Foxy was looking a little guilty about giving him a fright, too. Ruby glanced at him, knowing that they've been involved back then, too. Not willingly, of course. So? Jeremy spluttered. They tried to kill me, too. Several times. I've had this job for months now, so everything's good. The Barbie rabbit and chicken still try some stupid things, though, and the clown's an idiot, too. The insulted bots glared harshly at her. Jeremy gaped at the teenager. What the hell? You can't be more than 14. Now the night guard bristled, eyes narrowing. She leapt down and stalked towards the man. I am 16, you idiot, and I really hate it when people underestimate me. Yes, I'm young, but I've done better than anyone else in this job. I'm still alive after all. Her sharp eyes didn't move from his face, and she was exuding a dangerous aura now. He swallowed horribly. You had to fake your death to survive night 6. I survived it twice, she snarled, eyes glinting angrily. Ruby, he snapped suddenly. You can't blame him for not knowing. He doesn't live around here, so he hasn't heard about you. Huh. Ruby took a step back, but still glared at him. The mechanic sighed in relief. Maybe we should discuss this at my house, Jer, she suggested. He was worried about him saying something bad about the originals and setting Ruby off again. At that moment, the chimes went off and the bots turned to hesitantly go back to their places. Ruby grabbed her bag and stalked towards the door. You better not try anything to my bots, buddy. Then you'll have me to deal with. And I don't stop when the chime goes off. She threw a glare over her shoulder before disappearing out the door. Jeremy turned to look at his sister. Come on, it's a long story, she sighed, and headed towards the door. Ruby came back into the pizzeria that afternoon, having a meeting scheduled with the manager. She had been thinking about the night's events all day and was so was slightly distracted when she entered. She wiped up the bots before heading to the office. So, what is it, manager? She asked, not meaning to sound rude, but being too distracted to care. I have some exciting news. The man smiled, used to her attitude by now. We're opening a new attraction. Rory raised an eyebrow. What the heck? Attraction? This wasn't a theme park. Okay, she prompted. We recently discovered a piece of Fazbear history, an animatronic from one of the first restaurants. It still works. He seemed giddy in his excitement. A new animatronic? She asked skeptically. They're on board? Hopefully they weren't like the toys. Yes, I'm not sure about its original origins, but it was the main star of a horror theme attraction years ago. Horror? Now Ruru was just confused. Yes, it took advantage of the restaurant's rather gruesome rumors. He grimaced. How come I've never heard of it? She asked curiously. Well, now he seemed nervous. The place burnt down before it could officially open. Fazbear Fright, I think it was called? Ruby just stared as she waited for the reason for her presence. So we're planning on bringing Springtrap in and building a more exciting area for the older children. As you're in charge of the animatronics, I needed to talk to you first, he explained. Springtrap? Weird name. But sure, that sounds like a pretty cool idea, actually. I'm guessing this is also going to become a part of my places to keep an eye on while I'm on the job, right? He nodded. All right. Looking forward to seeing the horror animatronic. He grinned. Certainly sounds interesting. As always, her sadistic smirk sent shivers down the manager's spine. Ah, yes. He smiled with strange. Then I'll trust it to you. As Ruby left the room, she caught a glimpse of that strange ghost child again. Before they disappeared, she spotted their expression. Terror. Complete terror. Now what was going to happen? And that's the end of chapter 51, and we got our first hint to FNAF 3. I don't know if it'll be next chapter or when, but it's coming. So we got that to look forward to. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, go leave a review. You don't need an account, it just means the author can't respond. But go leave the author some love. So, because they wrote this. So go, show them some love. And you can also keep reading too if you want. You don't have to wait for me to read it. You are free to read by yourself if you want. So yeah, and be sure to subscribe. I upload new videos every Friday and Saturday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with the next chapter of A Treasure Discovery.